Hello everyone, this is my playlist builder project. In this video, I will explain my JavaScript code step by step. I will focus on the overall structure, how I use DOM manipulation, how the playlist logic works, and how different pages are connected. So this is my website. Here is the navigation. I have three main pages: homepage, search page, library page. Oh, and one more detailed page, but it is not listed on the navigation. So on the home page, here is some. I can click start searching to search page, and here is the feature tracks view. I can add it to build, and the button will be changed to added and disabled it. And after I click here, there's detail page to show the composer or actual information about that selected tracks. And I also can add it to playlist. This is my library, so all of the added tracks will be listed here, and it has removed button here and automatically calculate the length of music. This is my responsive view and the hamburger menu to show like that. So here's my code. So first, at the top of the script, I defined a constant called playlist keys and the feature tracks, default search tracks. I used this as a key name for local storage, so the playlist data can be saved in the browser and reused across pages. And the feature tracks and default search tracks include the informations like ID, title, duration, something like that. I structured the data this way because it makes the content reusable. The same track object can be used on the across multiple pages. And for here is the reusable playlist function. Get playlist reads the playlists from local storage and returns an array save playlist, saves an updated playlist back into local storage. Is tracked in playlists, checks whether the specific track already exists based on its ID. Add to playlists as a track only if it is not already in the playlist. Remove from playlist removes a track from the library list. I also create get track by ID, which combines all track data and finds one specific track object by ID. Another helper function is format total duration. Here, this function loops from the playlist, converts each duration from minutes and seconds into total seconds, add everything together, and then converts it back into format time string. That is how I display the total playlist time on the library page. And here is my navigation. This function controls the hamburger menu for smaller screen size, like this. And I select the hamburger button and the navigation elements using get element by ID. Then I attach an event listener to the hamburger menu. When the button is clicked, I toggle the active class on both the button and the navigation menu. I also update the area expanded attribute for accessibility. I also add an event listener to each nav link, so when the user clicks link, the mobile menu chooses automatically. And finally, I use resize events so that if the browser becomes wider than 768 pixels, here the mobile menu resets back to desktop mode. And here is my home page. I have an init home page. This function only runs if the current page has the class home page. In this function, I select home page. Edit buttons using query selector all, Add a home button. For each button, I read the data track ID attribute and use getTrack by ID to finding the matching track object here. And this is how I connect the HTML buttons with the correct tracked data. Then I checked if the track is already in the playlist. If it is, I immediately update the button text to added like this, and disable the button. And here is my search page, which controls the search page. First, I select the form like this, and the search input and the results container. I also create a variable called current results, which stores the tracks currently visible on the page. In the beginning, it starts with a copy of the default search tracks. And here, and inside this function, I create another function called render results. This is an important part of the project because it dynamically builds the search result list. I use map together here with template literals to generate the HTML for each track. Each result contains the cover image, track number, track title, and the add button. Then I insert everything into DOM using inner HTML. After render the HTML, attach event listener to all the button on the add buttons. When the user clicks one of them, I added to the playlist and re-render the results, so the button state changes from add to added here. One thing I want to mention honestly is that in this current version, the search is not using the external API. Instead, it uses local track data and filter logic. So this part demonstrates search behavior and dynamic rendering, but not a real fetch request yet. If I continue improving this project, the next step would be replacing the local area with an external music API using fetch. And here is my detailed page. The detailed page will be showed like this one. This runs only when the page has the class detail page. I use URL search params to read the ID value from the page URL, and I call getTrack by ID. To find the matching track object. This is how the homepage and detail page are connected. When the user clicks a track image, and the page URL includes track ID, and the detail page uses that ID to decide what content to display. And I also add logic for the add to playlist buttons like that one. If I click the added button, it will be automatically added to playlist. And here is my library page. The last main part is this page, and this function selects playlist container, the total track count, and the total duration elements. Inside it, I create another rendering function called render library. This function reads the current playlist from local storage, updates the relevant detailed information. I chose this each render item including the title, artist, something like that, and remove buttons. After the list is rendered, I attach click listener to the remove button. When the users clicks remove, it will be immediately removed from this list. At the bottom of this script, I use DOM content loaded and call all initialization functions together. Each function checks the page class before running, so only the relevant code is executed on each page. So that's all my code parts. Thank you for listening.